So the socialist Batman and Robin, Bernie Sanders, and AOC just introduced a bill to pause all new AI data center construction in the United States. On Monday, the president put the AI CEOs on his advisory council to regulate AI. On Wednesday, the left tried to freeze the infrastructure that they're building. We are seeing the gap between the parties widen in real time, and no one in Washington has a coherent AI position. Both sides have a problem. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders was just posted up in a conference room looking at an iPhone with Claude, talking to it about the dangers of AI privacy. We've never been in a timeline like this one before. I say over and over again. Let's break down the bill. It would impose a moratorium on new data center construction until the government can study the environmental and energy impact. The argument is that the data centers are projected to consume 12% of US electricity by 2028, up from 4% today. Microsoft restarted 3 Mile Island to power its AI operations. Amazon bought a nuclear-powered data center. Meta is spending $130 billion on infrastructure this year. Meanwhile, NVIDIA's newest chips draw so much power, some facilities need their own substations. This is happening during a war that has oil above $96. Iran is charging $2 million tolls on the Strait of Hormuz. Gas is so high in California that some people are even cutting back on Erewhon. It's crazy times. Sanders says that we should not be allowing big tech to gobble up America's energy supply so they can make billions more in profits while working families struggle to pay their electric bills. Just imagine that I said that in a Brooklyn accent. That is a real argument, though. Residents in Virginia, Georgia, and Texas are already organizing against new data center construction. Noise, water use, property values cratering, electric bills rising. That backlash isn't partisan, left or right. It's people who live next to these buildings, and also the left. But here's where it gets complicated. So the people who are most enthusiastic about AI right now aren't only tech executives. They're also small business owners who are using Claude to draft contracts, or freelancers using ChatGPT to pitch clients. AI is used by millions of people to better their everyday lives, not just Jensen Huang collecting a check. So when Sanders says moratorium on data centers, a lot of people hear moratorium on something that is meaningfully improving my life, and that's politically dangerous for the left, especially if they're trying to win back elections, because opposing the infrastructure that powers a tool real people rely on every day starts to sound like opposing electricity or the internet. In fact, the substance is not really the problem. Data centers moratorium sounds like the left wants to slow down progress. The framing is really the problem, though. They said protect your electric bill from big tech. That sounds like real populism. They just need a better marketing intern, maybe. The right has its own problem, which is that putting Jensen Huang and Mark Zuckerberg on the President's Science Council looks exactly like what it is, which is that the companies being regulated are writing their own regulations. The kids get to write their own homework. That works until your constituents' power bills double because a data center just moved into their county. Big backlash in Virginia and Texas, and that's not coming from progressives. It's coming from homeowners. Ultimately, the moratorium will not pass. It's not expected to. Republicans control both chambers, and the administration's position is maximum acceleration. But the bill is a signal that the political coalition against unchecked AI expansion is forming. It'll be a platform issue in probably every election for the foreseeable future. But it is being led by people who are terrible at messaging it. The honest answer might be somewhere in the middle. That doesn't fit very well on a bumper sticker.